Here is Chief Meteorologist Chase Jones.
All right, as sunset rolled around, I think we saw those winds die down relatively now. We're on Juneteenth Eve, so get ready for that long weekend as we see some of these temperatures sort of level out in those summertime temperatures. But when I got here, it was around 110, so for me, this is a relatively cool summer. Some of you have told me that you haven't seen something like this in about 30 years. Now, temperatures last night down into those mid, if not upper 70s, all the way up into those mid 90s today, just shy of that triple-digit mark. Then we're holding on to a little bit of heat as we level out in those lower 80s, and we'll see how slowly we'll cool down despite seeing that southerly flow and these clear skies. But I'm on the lookout for returning cloud cover because the tropics are picking up in activity. 82 in San Angelo, everybody else in a combination of mid to lower 80s across the entire area. So we're cooling down pretty slowly right now. 88 in Robert Lee was 101 earlier. 84 down there in Junction. So we're looking at about 7 degrees across the entire Concho Valley. It's looking like a beautiful summer evening. Dew points are down there in those 60s, while humidity indices are in those 40s and those 50s. Huge shout out to our giant team out here because it's about 80 degrees in the studio. The AC has gone out, so we're going to see once that doesn't get repaired. Everybody, I'm trying not to sweat on air. Now, Tina Bell, you just asked me about the moisture tracker. Now, the scale on this is not up here because if I show you it with the misspelling on moisture, it's going to blend in with the background. What I'm showing you is the potential of precipitable rain across the entire region of the United States. So it's just shaped up and summarized as the moisture tracker because it's giving us a good idea of where this hurricane is going to push this moisture up into the Concho Valley. Now, it's going to follow the upper level pattern. That's what's going to drive all these weather systems. As we see this southwesterly flow take over the Concho Valley and just on the east side of the Rocky Mountains, it's going to start pulling that moisture up along the Gulf Coast and the west coast of Mexico and pull it over across the entire Concho Valley as it cools down from the northwest with this high pressure on the unstable side of that sort of high pressure, keeping it continuously moist. Now, the water vapor imagery correlates to the moisture tracker and the upper level pattern, letting us know how on course or on track the data is, or sort of the forecast. We're looking at the convection all across the east coast, matching up with those shades of blue. Down towards the south, we're seeing those shades of orange make their way in with the sort of tropical developing down near the south of Texas. Then off the west coast, those sort of shades of brown and white and yellow sort of hanging out with that dry air lingering off the west coast. We take you into the severe weather outlook because all these things layered in together. National Weather Service is going to give us a good idea of where we can see the most rainfall. That's going to be along the Ohio River Valley into Indiana, where all the storm chasers have been all day, showing us the exact same data. Now, down at the surface, we're seeing where all of this is going to line up and see if those forecasts come true. You know how I'm getting the daytime heating wrong. That's why I always have these meetings with Stephen. I just need to get another set of eyeballs on all this data. That includes Hurricane Eric. Look how strong it is if I move out of the way you guys can finally see it. It's a Category 3, making landfall any moment now. Sustained winds at 125 miles per hour, moving northwest at 9 miles per hour. If this moisture makes its way up the east coast of Mexico, it's going to find its way into the Concho Valley, and that correlates with the shades of orange on the moisture tracker. Now, the Futurecast is going to show you how this waves of moisture will continue to make their way up with the daytime heating and cooling. So once we reach the atmospheric tipping point, we're going to start seeing a lot of these sea breeze thunderstorms develop across the entire region. This far up into the Concho Valley, that's pretty unseasonable considering this is a very strong hurricane. So tonight, I have my eye on these breezy conditions as we slowly cool down into these 70s. Then tomorrow, it's Juneteenth, and we're going to make a good run at those mid-90s, and we'll see if we don't stop just shy of triple digits. But as we continue to make our way towards the weekend, we're going to hold on to these steady temperatures. Tropical activity is picking up, so model data just has us in those mid-90s, while those overnight lows lock themselves in those lower 70s. But we are getting awfully close towards the 4th of July, so make sure you make good plans because pleasant weather all the way out. Stay tuned. More at the break. You're watching KSAN News at 10.